Hello everyone and welcome back to Tinderloss Gaming, and welcome to episode 4 of my playthrough of the Dunwich Legacy or Arkham Horror, the living card game. As some of you may know and been following, this is part of the Old Codgers trilogy, where I've been playing through as some old men in various forms of Arkham universe games. Been playing through Mansions of Madness, then playing through Arkham Horror 3rd edition, and this is the third and last of the trilogy Arkham Horror, where I'm playing as Charlie, Kane and Carson Sinclair. So I'd advise and really help me out the channel if you want to go back and review and have a look at those playthroughs. Very interesting. The Arkham universe is always good, if not very difficult, but there we go. I'll let you go and find out how we got on with various other games. So without further ado, let's get across to the table and see what's going on. Okay, here we are at the table, and we are playing the fourth scenario, or scenario 3 actually, from the Dunwich Legacy campaign, the Essex County Express. We've got a few little housekeeping bits and bobs to do before we start. We got a little bit of XP from the last scenario. We had 3 for Charlie and we had 2 for Carson. Talk about Charlie first of all. I've gone with an upgrade, or not an upgrade, but a new ally. Finding will tests for Charlie a little bit difficult. So what we've done is we've put in Nakusi Mabata, who is a guardian mystic from the Edge of the Earth expansion. He cost me my 3 XPs, 4 to get in. More importantly, he's got 2 will icons for when I'm taking will tests. So hopefully we'll get another version of him in. So we'll max out with the 2, but we've got 1 in there at the moment. Got a nice little, he's 2 and 2. Always nice, 2 sanity, 2 health. And he's got a reaction after he enters play. I can name a non-elder sign chaos token with a symbol. Until this card leaves play, that name symbol is your sigil. As a reaction, when an investigator or location reveals a cultist, stone or elder thing symbol, exhaust Nagosi, and then I can search the chaos bag for your signal and reveal it instead. So that's quite good. I've taken out a rise to the occasion. I mean, it is a good card, 3 wilds on it. But I just felt there was nothing else I could really take out of the deck. The rest of the other stuff in there is really quite useful. So I may be making a mistake, but I'm taking out a rise to the occasion, one of the rise to the occasions. Now with Carson, I'm still leaning into the upgrades. He's got Hunter's Armour and Runic Axe. Now, we've upgraded Runic Axe with Ancient Power and Script Weaver. What I've done is I've gone across to his Hunter's Armour and spent the 2 XP on Lightweight, which means it gets -1 cost and playing it does not provoke attacks of opportunity. I'm hoping to get Durable and Hallowed in there, which gives the armor +2 health, +2 sanity, and then I'll probably have maxed out Hunter's Armor. So gone across to something a little bit different with Carson. So let's chuck that in. We'll give these a shuffle before we start, and let's read scenario. Oh, standard coffee is in play. Scenario 3, the Essex County Express. Recent events in the museum have forced you to re-evaluate Armitage's tale about Dunwich. It cannot be a coincidence. Wilbur Whately, the Necronomicon, the creature from Dunwich, and the people and creatures who attacked here in Arkham, everything must be connected. You're certain now where you must head, the lonely and dismal town of Dunwich Village. You consider telling the Massachusetts State Police what you know, but the negative consequences outweigh the potential gain. Given the nature of your story, they would likely write you off as an absurd hoax. Worse, they could lock you up. After all, you were present in an illegal speakeasy. Carson decided to take 2 of his machine guns in there, but that's another story. And you also trespassed in the museum. Instead, you decide to head to Dunwich yourself in order to investigate further. You pack everything you think you might need and manage to get some rest for the night. In the morning, you head to the train station in Northside and purchased a last-minute express ticket. Dunwich is several hours by train northwest along the Miskatonic River Valley. There is no train station in Dunwich, but you manage to phone one of Armitage's acquaintances in the small village, a man by the name of Zebulon Whately, who was present during the events several months ago. Armitage notes that indicate that the Whately family is spread across many branches, some decadent and unscrupulous, others undecayed or otherwise untouched by nefarious and diabolical rites. According to Armitage, Zebulon's branch of the family lay somewhere between the decayed and undecayed Whateleys, who knew of the traditions of his ancestors but was not corrupted by them. He agrees to pick you up at the closest station and drive you into town. As the train departs from Arkham, you feel the events of the previous night catching up on you and exhaustion sets in. But before you can safely reach your destination, the train car suddenly rumbles and shakes, startling you out of your reverie. The train loudly skids to a violent halt and you hear a rattling noise behind you. Right, okay. Gather all cards from the encounter sets, the Essex County Express, the Beyond, Striking Fear, Ancient Evils and Dark Cult. Done that. Put one of the 3 engine car locations into play at random. So what we've got here is we've got 3 engine cars. We'll do the classic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2. So that's going to be that one. These 2 then are out of play. And then we're going to put 6 of the 8 car locations into play at random. Well, there's 8 here. And we'll have a go. We'll just do a D6 from the top. So number 1 is going to go. Number 1 is going to go. Typical MB dice. Rolling ones. So those are the 6 train cars in play. So these go in a line, basically. Hopefully we've got enough space. We can make some space if we need it. We can muck around with that in a second. Actually, we'll just step across to another point. It says, based on your difficulty, add the following chaos tokens to the chaos bag. We're playing on standard, so it tells us to put a -3 into the chaos bag. There we go, that's in there. So we can just have a little play around with this now. Well, let's get that across a bit further. Problem with the lights is you need decent light, but the light tends to have a little bit of an effect on the cards. There we go. That's as good as I'm going to get it, I think. So let's remove the other versions of then put the 6 of the 8 train locations in play at random in a straight line to the left of the engine car. Remove the remaining 2 locations from your game. Reveal the leftmost train car. Each investigator begins play at that location. If that location has a forced effect that triggers upon entering the location, ignore it. So we're going to start off in the parlour car. 3 shroud, 1 clue per investigator. I'm not going to put any connectors into play here because they are all connected left and right. It says the parlour car is connected to the locations to the left and right of it. It cannot be investigated. Spend 3 resources, discover 1 clue in the parlour car. Well, that's a bit annoying. But anyway, that is what it is. So we're going to start in the parlour car. Shuffle the remainder of the encounter cards to build the encounter deck. Moving on the train left to right. During this scenario, locations are lined up from left to right with the engine car as the rightmost location. Whenever a card effect refers to the location to the left or the location to the right, it refers to the location immediately but to the locations left or right. Any card reference effects that reference a direction, left or right, should be interpreted from the perspective of the diagram below. And there's just a list of a diagram of how they are in front of us. There we go. Pause there for a second. I need to clear my glasses. That's better. I can actually see what I'm doing. I've just changed it to investigation phase, which is where we're going to start. We'll give our decks a shuffle on screen. Then we'll read the agenda. We'll read the scenario cards, and then we're ready to go. So that is Charlie, and we've got Carson. Cat Weasel cut. Got the encounter deck. I have given these a good shuffle off screen, but there's always one to do on screen. Cat Weasel cut. Agenda 1A states a tear in reality. As the train to Dunwich comes to a jarring stop, you look out of the window behind you and see an immense tear in the sky, like a rip in a piece of cloth. Several of the rearmost trains are being pulled backwards, and there is a dreadful metallic crunch as they are detached. The train cars topple upwards and into the rift in the sky. Nearby passengers are panicking, others are cowering in their seats, and one elderly man has fainted in fear. Doom on that. And then we've got quite a simple act, run. The train has stopped on a bridge high above the Miskatonic River. You might be able to survive the fall, but you don't like your chances. Your best bet is to make it to the engine car as fast as you can and get the train running again. Objective: if an investigator enters the engine car, immediately advance. And then we've got Essex County Express scenario card. The skull is -X, where X is the current agenda. The cultist is -1. If you fail and it's your turn, lose all remaining actions and end your turn immediately. The stone is -2. Add a doom token to the nearest cultist enemy. And the elder thing is -3. If you fail, choose and discard a card from your hand. Okay. Let's get our opening hands. So 5 for Charlie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spending 3 resolve. We're looking for a motivational speech. We've got a Peter Sylvester. We've got a summoned hound. We've got a treachery, which draws another one. We've got a rise to the occasion. We've got an inspiring presence, and we've got a fire axe. Summoned hound is pretty good because I can fight or investigate with that. It costs me 3 XP. But Peter Sylvester is going to give us plus agility and plus will. A lot of will tests I found that was... So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of those 4, keep Peter Sylvester. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got a Mariner's Compass. We've got a Trial by Fire. We've got a Leo DeLuca, and we've got a Summoned Hound. Okay, I can live with that. I can live with that. Okay, going to draw 5 for Carson. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously looking for the runic axe. We're looking for the runic axe. We've got a backpack, we've got a backpack, we've got an as you wish, we've got a treachery, and we've got to take an initiative. We'll draw one. Well, we could keep a backpack, which is going to allow us to search the top 6 cards for an item. But then we'll get rid of those 4. I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got a backpack, we've got a Thompson, we've got an as you wish, we've got a vicious blow, and we've got an unexpected courage. Not great. Second scenario on the trot where Carson really hasn't got and the parlour car's got a victory 1 on it as well, so it'd be nice to get both those clues off. Cat weasel cut. Alrighty, we are good to go. All the very best. So I think first action from Charlie, going to gain a resource up to 6. I'm going to spend for my second action 3 of them, down to 3, to put Peter Sylvester into play. Then for my third action, I'm going to spend 3 resources to gain the clue. This scenario, as I remember playing it long ago, is all about moving quickly. And that is it for Charlie. Carson. First action. Spend 2, down to 3, to play backpack. After backpack enters play, search the top 6 cards of your deck for up to 3 non-weakness item and supply cards and attach them face down to backpacks. Shuffle your deck. Cards attached to backpack may be played as if they're in your hand. If there are no cards attached to backpack, discard it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got prepared for the worst, hunter's armor, take heart, hunter's armor, 1 in the chamber, and evidence. So it's going to be hunter's armor. Hunter's armor, we'll put a couple of hunter's armors in there. Up to 3 item or supply cards. That is it. There's no other item and supply cards there. Right. Those get attached underneath backpack. My second action, I'm going to spend 3 to gain a resource. To gain a clue. Then Carson is going to do his special action, which is going to give Charlie another action, and Charlie is going to move into the next train car. We reveal that. It's a passenger car. comes in with 2 resource, 2 clues on it, connected left and right. Forced. After you enter the passenger car, you must either discard cards from your hand with at least 2 total fight icons or take 2 damage. Well, I can't discard 2 icons of fight because I've got summon hand with 1 on it. Leo doesn't. Trial by fight doesn't. Mariner's Comfort doesn't. Oh god, that's a bit annoying. Can't put any damage onto Peter because he's only got 1. So I'm going to go down to 2, down 3 damage. So 1, 2. This is going to be tricky. Third action. Carson's going to move. Now I could discard the Thompson and the Vicious Blow, or I could take 2 damage. I'm going to take 2 damage. 1, 2. Down to 4. And that's it for Carson. We go to the enemy phase. No enemies in play. We go to the upkeep phase. We got our actions back. We ready up. Charlie draws a card. He gets a Dark Horse, which is very nice. And Carson gets a Thompson. We gain a resource. Charlie goes to 1. Carson goes to 1. We go to the mythos phase. We put 1 of 4 onto a Terran reality. We draw a card for Charlie. He gets Ancient Evils. Hate that card. We have just lost 7 actions. There we go. And Carson is going to get pushed to the beyond. Choose and shuffle a non-story asset you control into your deck and discard the top 3 cards of your deck. If a copy of that asset is discarded, take 2 horror. Oh, what happens to Hunter's Armor? Bear with me. Right, a little interesting question, really, because I've just done a quick Google search, and if you have to discard backpack for any reason, then anything underneath it is also discarded, which is fair enough. That makes sense. But pushed into the beyond says, choose and shuffle a non-story asset you control into your deck and discard the top 3 cards of your deck. If a copy of that asset is discarded, take 2 horror. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all 3 of those back into my deck because it doesn't say to discard them. And if I draw a backpack or a Hunter's Armor, then I'll take 2 horror. I think that's the fairest way of doing it. The sort of reads as written. If it had said discard it, then both those Hunter's Armors would have gone. It doesn't say to discard it. it says shuffle it into your deck. Top 3 cards. First one is Live and Learn. Second one is Hunter's Armor. Third one is a Runic Axe. God. Of course. Of course, it's Hunter's Armor and a Runic Axe. So I take 2 horror down to 4. 1, 2. 2. There we go. 4 and 4. Well, this is this has started off nicely. There we go. Right. We move on from the mythos phase to the investigating phase. Oh. I think what I'm going to do for Charlie, I'm going to go with Charlie first of all. First 2 actions, it's going to gain 2 resources up to 3. Third action, spend 3 to play a summoned hound to help me fight or investigate. When summoned hound comes into play, I need to grab an unbound beast. That goes into my deck. Catweasel cut. Okay, that's it for Charlie. That Runic Axe over there is annoying. So I've got 2 Thompsons. That cost us 6 XP. Oh dear, oh dear. I think I might have to be might be a fairly short turn actually. First 2 actions, Carson's going to gain 2 resources, so up to 3. Then he's going to give an action to Charlie, and he's going to gain a resource. And third action from Carson, he's going to gain another resource up to 4. I've got to just go in. I've got to lean into the Thompson now with the Runic Axe going. Not a lot I can do about that. So that's it for our turn. Didn't get anything to investigate, but there we go. Enemy phase. No enemies in play. Upkeep phase. We ready up. Getting our actions back. We draw a card for Charlie. Charlie's going to get paranoia. Discard all of your resources. And discard his 1 resource. Carson is going to get Hunter's Armor. We gain a resource. That's it. We go to the mythos phase. We put 3 of 4 in terror reality. We take a swig of our coffee. That's that done. We draw a mythos card for Charlie. Charlie's going to get rotting remains. Test wheel 3. For each point you fail, take 1 horror. So we will exhaust Peter. He gives us +1. So at 2. 3 for exhausting. 4 for the symbol of Peter Sylvester. So 4 versus 3 so far. 4 versus 3. We'll chuck a trial by fire in there to make it 5 versus 3. 5 versus 3. So I lose by 3. I lose by 3. So I'll put 2 sanity onto Peter. And I'll take 1 down to 4. So that was delightful. And card for Carson. Arcane barrier. Okay, arcane barrier says attached to your location. As an additional cost to move into or out of the attached location, test wheel 4. If successful, discard arcane barrier. Otherwise, you must cancel the card effects or discard the top 5 cards of your deck. We'll put them up there now. Ooh. Okay, investigator phase. Feel like I'm slowing up a little bit, which is a bit annoying. But I'm trying to get set up. First 2 actions for Charlie is to gain 2 resources. Third action for Charlie is to spend 3 resources to play Mariner's Compass. That's it for Charlie. Carson is going to gain a resource, his first action up to 6, and then he's going to spend all 6 of those onto a Thompson. Comes in with 5 ammo. That was his first action. He's then going to give Charlie an action. And Charlie's going to investigate. Charlie's going to investigate using the Mariner's Compass. So we're currently 2. No, I don't get +1. So I'm going to exhaust Summon Hound. It's got it's going to give me 2. 1 for the icon, 1 because I'm exhausting it. So I'm currently at 3 versus 4. Carson is going to help us by playing As You Wish. Carson Sinclair deck only. Commit only to a skill test being performed by another investigator. If this test succeeds, the performing investigator draws a card. If the test fails, you draw a card. So I'm currently 1, 2, 3, 6 versus 4. 6 versus 4. I'm going to play a Leo DeLuca to make it 7 versus 4. Seven versus 4 minus 2. Oh, that shouldn't be in there. That should not be in there. That was from the last game. Sorry. Right. Minus 3. 7 versus 4. Good job we did put a Leo DeLuca in there. We're equal, so we get it. And I've got no resources, so I get an additional clue. So Charlie gets both of those clues. So the test was successful, so Charlie gets to draw a card. He gets an Alex Luxley. Okay. That's not too bad. I mean, we got rid of a Leo DeLuca, which is not great. So that was still got 2 actions left for Carson. Does he move on? Well, we can't. Bloody barrier. We need to get Charlie to get rid of that. I think Carson is going to, for his second 2 actions, gain a couple of resources. I could be playing this completely wrong. I could be playing this completely wrong. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay. That's it for the investigation phase. We move on to the enemy phase. There's no enemies in play. We move on to the upkeep phase. We ready our assets, etc. We get our actions back. Charlie draws a card. Charlie draws art student. Very nice. And Carson draws Dr. Henry Armitage. Very nice. Very nice indeedy. We gain a resource. Charlie goes up to 1. Carson goes up to 3. That's it for the upkeep phase. We go to the mythos phase. We hit the 4th trigger for a terror in reality. The rearmost car of the train detaches as it's pulled backwards. To your horror, it rises off the tracks and is consumed by the gate above you. Remove the leftmost location from the game or place it in the victory display if it has a victory X and no clues on it. Each investigator at the location is defeated. Discard all clues. Each investigator at the location is defeated. Each enemy and asset at that location is discarded. Discard all clues controlled by the investigators. Okay. Does that just mean, hang on a sec. Well, it does indeed mean all clues. So I've discarded all clues from the investigators. That's done. That's gone. That there underneath there. So I know where it is. We go on to agenda 2A. The moor widens. The tear grows larger and you feel the rearmost of the car train shaking as it's pulled backwards. The situation threatens to erupt into chaos as more passengers realise the danger they are in. Some passengers are looking for places to hide while others are running about the compartments in terror. 3 doom on this. So we need to get a shift on. We need to get a shift on. That arcane barrier is causing us a problem. All right. Okay, so Charlie's card for the mythos phase. He gets the dissonant voices. Put it into play in your threat area. Can't play assets or events. At the end of the round, discard it. Okay, it's not too bad. And Carson is going to get a helpless passenger. Surge. Revelation. Put helpless passenger into play at the location to your left. Or at your location if you cannot. Parlay. Take control of helpless passenger. If helpless passenger leaves play, each investigator takes 1 horror. So he will be in the passenger car. Alrighty. Go to the investigation phase. We need to get rid of this arcane barrier, if at all possible. Three. I don't really want to play a dark horse. Might have to. So I'm thinking of doing the test, the wheel 3 test, or wheel 4 test. So I would be 1, 2, 3, 4 if I exhaust Peter. 5 for dark horse. 6, 7. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. So first action, we're going to attempt the test for arcane barrier. I will exhaust Peter Sylvester, who's got a will icon. So we're 1, 2 because we get +1 for Peter anyway. Another 2 for Peter for the icon and exhausting him. So that's 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I will play a dark horse to make it 5. And Carson will help out by playing an unexpected courage. So I think I'm 7. 7 versus 3. Recount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 versus 4. 7 versus 4. -4. We fail. I don't feel I'm having the best of luck in this playthrough for Dunwich Legacy. That was his first action. Second action, I'm going to have to move and discard the top 5 cards. I can't do anything else. I can't do anything else. So he's moving. And I'm going to discard the top 5 cards. So calling in favours, inspiring presence, rise to the occasion for 3, Nicosia Matea for 4, Bonnie Walsh for 5. That was nasty. That was nasty. Oh, okay, we're into this train car. We're in a passenger car. After you enter passenger car, you must either discard a card from your hand with at least 1 wild icon or take 1 damage and 1 horror. Oh. Got no wild icons. I'll put the one damage onto the summoned hound, and I will take 1 horror down to 3. Third action. Oh, it comes in with 2 clues. Third action, I'll gain a resource. No. Third action. Think about this. I'll exhaust summoned hound to investigate a base of 5. Base of 5. Oh, hang on a sec. Let's think about this. I'll exhaust the Mariner's Compass, spend a resource, and I will exhaust the Summoned Hound. So let's count this up. +1 from here, so I'm at 2, 3, 4 with the Summoned Hound. Five playing the art student. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with art student. 5 versus 1. 5 versus 1 minus 2. We get it, and because we've got no resources, we discover an additional clue at our location. Two clues. After our turn ends, because our third action, we heal 1 horror from Peter Sylvester. Art student, you sort of done your job there. Happy with that. Carson. Well, I'm going to move. I'm not going to try and attempt the will, because I'm will 2. I could make it 3, 4, 5 with those 2. And it'd be 5 versus 4. I don't like those odds. And I'd lose Henry Armitage and Hunter's Armour. So I am going to take the hit. I'm going to move my first action. discard the top 5 cards in my deck. We're going to do 1 for take the initiative, 2 for evidence, 3 for evidence, 4 for custom modifications, and then 5 for venturer. Okay, that's all right. I can live with that. I'm going to give Charlie an additional action to draw a card. He's going to draw Calling in Favours. Two actions left with Carson. Now, do I play Hunter's Armour or do I play Henry Armitage? I mean, they're one and the same thing. Henry's going to give us 2 and 2. Hunter's Armour gives us 2 and 2, but Henry gives us an additional ability and it's a lot less money. So second action, I'm going to pay 2 down to 1 to play Dr. Henry Armitage. After I draw a card, I can discard that card and exhaust him. So for my third action, I am going to draw a card and we're going to get backpack. But I am going to discard that, exhausting Dr. Henry Armitage to gain 3 resources. So I'm up to 4. And that is it for Carson's turn. We go on to the enemy phase. No enemies in play. We go to upkeep. We're going to ready up everything. We're going to get our actions back. Charlie's going to draw a card. He's going to get Scene of the Crime. Carson is going to get Hallowed Mirror. Nice. Very nice. We gain a resource. Charlie's going to go to 1. Carson's going to go to 5. That's the end of the round. So Dissonant Voices goes. We go to the mythos phase. We're going to put 1 doom on 1 of 3 on the More Widens. Charlie's going to draw a mythos card. He's going to get Claws of Steam. Test Will 3. If you fail, take 2 damage and you cannot move from this location. Damage from this effect must be assigned to your assets first if able. Will 3. Take 2 damage. So I'm 4 versus 3 at the moment. Nothing I can play there. I'm going to exhaust Peter Sylvester. So I'm 1, 2 for Peter Sylvester, plus 2. I'm 4 versus 3. I think I'm just going to go 4 versus 3. 4 versus 3, plus 1. Finally, the chaos bag's warmed up. I pass. Excellent. Card for Carson. He's going to get, an emergent monstrosity. 4 fight, 5 health, 3 to evade. Spawn the location to your right, or your location if there is no location to your right. Enters play exhausted. It's got victory 1 on it. So that's coming in here into this train car. 5 health. Oh, where's my runic axe when I need it? Oh, Carson moved into the passenger car. I would have to take 1 damage and 1 horror. Wasn't Henry Armitage in play when I moved in? Don't think he was. Taking 1 damage and 1 horror, down to 3 and 3. Sorry, I missed that. One. Right, so we're now on the investigation phase. Am I on the investigation phase, or did I? No, I've got to draw a card for Carson. Oh no, I drew the emergent monstrosity. Oh, right, we are on the investigation phase. Now I think what we do is we do a quick skip because this is currently exhausted. Move in. Charlie goes first, move into the train car, move out of the train car. It's not got Hunter and it's exhausted, so I think we're going to have to skip through. I'm not worried about the victory point there, no chance. 4, 5 health, plus 2 attack. I'm at 4, dealing plus 1 damage. Vicious blow though would help. So I'll be doing 3 damage. I could hit it twice. Not liking those odds though. I think I'm going to play safe. Charlie, first action, is going to move into this train car here. Nothing that helps, nothing we have to do on exiting. So we're going to move into the passenger car. Comes in with 4 clues on it. Oops, wrong one. Four clues on it. After you enter passenger car, you must either discard cards from your hand with at least 2 will icons or take 2 horror. No will icons. I'll put 1 horror onto Peter Sylvester. And I'll take 1 horror down to 2. This is getting twitchy. Second action, move to this train car here because this is exhausted. And it's only on entering the passenger car. So this train car, passenger car, 3 on it. God. 3 per investigator, so there's 6 on there. After you enter passenger car, you must either discard cards from your hand with at least 2 agility icons or take 2 damage. Can't do that either. All right, I'll take 2 damage. I'll put 1 onto the summoned hound and I'll take 1 on Charlie down to 2. That was my second action. Third action, I'm going to exhaust the Mariner's Compass and spend 1 resource. I'll also exhaust Summoned Hound. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 against 1. I'll play a Calling in Favours. No, I won't. I'll play a Scene of the Crime. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 1. 5 versus 1 plus 1 again. We get 2 clues because we've got no resources. 1, 2. That's it for Charlie. We've got to move. So first action for Carson, he's going to move into the passenger car and he's going to have to discard cards with at least 2 will icons. He's going to get rid of the Hallowed Mirror and Hunter's Armor. And then he's going to move for his second action into the passenger car. And he has to discard 2 icons with agility, which he hasn't got, or take 2 damage. I'm going to put it on Henry Armitage. Sorry, buddy, you're going to have to go. I needed to skip that, really. Third action, can you investigate? 3 versus 1. Oh, Carson is going to give... Carson is going to give Charlie an action to draw a card. He gets another Peter Sylvester. Oh, I should have recovered 1 off of Peter. Third action for Carson. Going to investigate. 2 versus 1 currently. We'll chuck in a calling in favours. Or do we? No. Third action for Carson is going to draw a card. He's got a wolf mask. That's it. That is it. The investigation phase. We go to the enemy phase. He doesn't ready at the moment because it's not readying. Then we go to the upkeep phase. We get our actions back. We ready our cards. We draw a card. Charlie's going to get a Leo DeLuca. Carson is going to get a 1 in the chamber. Gain a resource. That's it. This readies, but it doesn't have Hunter. We go to the mythos phase. We put 2 of 3 onto the more widens. Then we're going to draw a card. Oh, forgot about him. Forgot about him. Bums. Never mind. Charlie's going to get Frozen in Fear. Put Frozen into Fear into plane your threat area. The first time you perform one of the following actions, move, fight or evade each round, it costs 1 additional action. At the end of your turn, test will 3. If you succeed, discard Frozen in Fear. Not's got Surge on it. And then Carson is going to get a Wizard of the Order. Spawn any empty location. At the end of your mythos phase, place 1 doom on the Wizard of the Order. Well, I think we're going to... Oh, any empty location. So let's put him here because we're going to need to deal with him. I'll put him here. I'm not going back. And he's going to continue to put doom on it. So, the end of the phase, we place a doom onto Wizard of the Order. But we've already gone past the checkpoint for doom. So as long as we can kill him, I mean, it actually doesn't really matter because he's going to It's going to trigger anyway, but we can still kill him. He's not worth a victory point, which is a bit annoying. He should be ready up. Now, do we want to get some more clues? Who do we go with first? I think we go with Carson. I think we go with Carson, but before we do that, we need to give Charlie an additional action. Carson's additional action is going to give Charlie an additional resource up to 2. And then we're going to go with Carson. Moving into these train cars is a right pain. So we're going to move into the train car for our first action. Sleeping car. It's got 1 clue on it. Action, gain 3 resources. Remember that you have stolen the passenger's luggage. Don't really need 3 resources. That could be quite nice for. That could be quite nice for Charlie though. The Wizard of Order engages Carson. He's got retaliate, so we don't want to miss with this. Actually, let's just backtrack for a second. My first action, I'm going to play Wolf Mask. Comes in with 2 offerings. Missed that. Sorry, my apologies. That would have been my first action. My second action would then be to move in. And then the Wizard of the Order engages us. So our third action is going to be to fight with the Thompson. So I'm currently 2, 4, 6 with the Wolf Mask. So 6 versus 4. I will play a Thompson to make it 7 versus 4. And the way my luck's been running, I'm going to play 1 in the chamber to make it 8 versus 4. 8 versus 4. -3. We didn't need to put that in, but we done it. That does 2 damage to the wizard, which kills him. And that was my third action. We can't replenish the Wolf Mask because he was at full offerings when he entered. But that is it for Carson. Charlie. He's going to spend 1 to play Calling in Favours. Choose an ally asset you control and return it to your hand. Then search the top 9 cards of your deck for an ally asset and play it, reducing its cost by X. X is the cost of the ally asset you return to your hand. Shuffle your deck. So we're gonna get rid of the summoned hound. Or do I? No, hang on a sec. hang on a sec. Let's work this out. Let's do it in a proper order. So we could get a couple of clues first of all. See what I'm thinking. Actually, yeah, let's just investigate with the summoned hound. We're going to exhaust the summoned hound. We're going to investigate with a base of 5 against 1. 5 against 1. -2. We get it. We get a clue. So 5 clues. Does my first action. I need to save an action to move. So do I take the risk now? The reason why I'm only at 2 sanity. I know I've got 3 here. Yeah, I'm going to do it. That's what I've been thinking about doing. So I'm going to spend 1 to play calling in favours. I'm going to remove the summoned hound. That's going to go back to my hand in a second. I'm just going to leave it there though, because then I know how much I've got to play with. And then the top 9 cards of my deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Huh. And we're looking for ally assets. Got a cat burglar. We've got a cat burglar is it. Cat burglar. We reduce its cost by 3. But I have got 1 spare to make it 4. That comes back to my hand. Cat burglar comes into play. And then we shuffle my deck. That goes off to the discard pile. Cat weasel cut. Gives us +1 agility. But 2 and 2 health. And we can play summoned hound again if we need to. I think I'd rather play Alice. So that was my second action. Third action is going to be to move in to the sleeping car. Okay. Again there. At the end of her turn, heal 1 horror from Peter. We then go into the mythos. Oh, sorry, we were in the investigation phase. We then go into the enemy phase. Doesn't move. Oh. No, hang on a sec. Hang on a sec. Let's move Charlie back here, frozen in fear. I couldn't do that. I only had 1 action left. I only had 1 action left. So his third action is going to be to investigate with the Mariner's Compass. So it's one versus one at the moment. 1 versus 1. No, I'm not going to do that. Last action is to gain a resource. Last action. At the end of our turn, test will 3. If you succeed, discard frozen in fear. So I'm currently 1. I will exhaust both Peter and the cat burglar to give me 4. So 5 versus 3. 5 versus 3. 6 versus 3 because I'll put a Peter in. 6 versus 3. Minus 2. 6 versus 3 minus 2. We're all good. We get rid of frozen in fear. Ew. Okay. Sorry about that. Pick that up. Enemy phase, there's nothing in play. Like I say, he hasn't got Hunter. Upkeep phase, we ready everything up. We get our actions back. We draw a card. Charlie is going to get Fire Axe. Carson is going to get a 1 in the chamber. We're going to gain a resource up to 2 for Charlie, up to 7 for Carson. Carson seriously needs to spend some money, buddy. That's it. We go to the mythos phase. We put 3, or the third one, onto the more widens. The next train cart is ripped backwards with violent force. A middle-aged man hangs from his fingertips as the car flies unhindered towards the rift. In moments, the car is consumed whole, and the man goes, and the man lets go rather than be pulled into the void. He starts to fall, but is caught by the rift's force and pulled inside anyway. Remove the leftmost location from the game, or place it in the victory display if there are no clues and it's not got any victories on it. Each investigator at the location is defeated. Each enemy and asset at the location is discarded, and discard all clues controlled by the investigators. So helpless. So passenger car and arcane barrier is going to go. Let's put these over here. Helpless passenger is going to go, which means we take 1 horror. I'll put 1 horror onto Peter. And unfortunately, Carson is going to have to take 1 horror down to 2. That goes. Discard all clues held by the investigators. Right, bear with me while I do this. Right, that's the clues gone. Then we get on to rolling backwards. The pull of the rift in the sky seems to grow stronger, and the entire train begins to roll backwards along the tracks. The rearmost cars of the train begin to rattle, the force of the rift threatening to detach them. You must get out of these cards as fast as you can. It's got 4 on it. Four on it. Okay, we draw a mythos card. So Charlie's going to get an acolyte. Spawn at any empty location. Place 1 doom on it. I feel like Charlie wants to kill stuff. Carson even. So I'm going to put him here. I'm going to put him here. Carson is going to get broken rails. Each investigator at your location loses 1 action. Each investigator at your location with 4 or more damage must also discard an asset he or she controls. No, I've not got 4 or more damage on me because I started off with, I'm at 3, 6 of 3. So we're all good. But I do lose an action. So Carson's going to lose an action. We go across to the investigation phase. Charlie needs to get some clues. When we need to go into the engine car, I think, is where we need to be. Shroud of 1 is nice. Okay. First action for Charlie is to gain a resource. Up to 3. Second action, going to spend 3 to play Summoned Hound. Third action is going to investigate with the Mariner's Compass. Now I'm going to tap the Summoned Hound. So I'm 3 versus 1. We'll put a Leo DeLuca into there to make it 4 versus 1. Four versus 1. +1. We've got no resources, so we get 2 of those clues. One. Two. That was my third action. Carson. Carson. He is going to move into the engine car. which means we flip this over. Oh, no, no, no. We have to get the clues off this first. Whoa, 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 MB. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're not really going to be getting those clues off. So we've got another turn to go, really. Actually, we could do this. Let's do it this way. So he's lost an action. First action. No, no, he's not going back. He's not going back to the passenger car because we'll be taking 2 damage. I was going to hop back, give Charlie an extra move, move him, and then move Carson back. But I can't take 2 damage. No chance. Carson, you're on your own. Charlie, you're on your own, mate. 4 versus 2. Carson's not really. So second action. Going to draw a card. Live and learn. Third action, draw a card. Custom modifications. Okay. Right. That's it. Enemy phase. Emergent monstrosity is going to stay where it is. Acolyte's going to stay where they are. No other enemies in play. Upkeep phase. We're going to ready everything up. We're going to get our actions back. We're going to draw a card. Charlie's going to get another Mariner's Compass, which is handy because we can just use that for whatever we need to use it for. Carson is going to get another Vicious Blow. We're going to gain a resource. Carson's going to go to 8. Charlie's going to go to 1. We ready up. We go to the mythos phase. We're now at 2 of 4 for rolling backwards. Charlie's going to get his mythos card. He is going to get an acolyte. Place 1, spawn at any empty location, so it's going to have to be here. We put a doom on it. There's nothing we can do about that one. And Carson is going to get a grasping horror. 3 fight, 3 to 3 health, 2 to evade. Hunter, while engaged with the grappling horror, you cannot move. Okay, well we can sort of deal with that. That's good for Carson to get that. We replenish one of the Wolf Mask's offerings because we've just engaged with an enemy. Let me move on to the investigation phase. Oops, wrong one. First action from Charlie, he's going to move into the sleeping car. Second action, he is going to steal some luggage to gain 3 resources, which takes him to 4. Naughty Charlie. And then he's going to spend 4 to play Alice Luxley. And that was it. 1 to move, 2 to gain the resources, 3 to steal to play Alice. Then we activate Carson. The first things first, he's going to give Charlie an additional action. And Charlie's going to investigate. Base of 5. I'm going to exhaust the summoned hound to investigate, which means I'm a base of 5. I'm going to exhaust Alice Luxley. So we're at 5. +1 for Alice Luxley because she gives us 1 naturally. So that's 6. And then 2 more. So we're at 8 versus 4 because we're exhausting her and she's got the book icon. So we're at 8 versus 4. 8 versus 4. -1. We get the clue. We get the clue. Carson back to his turn. So his first proper turn, he's going to fight the grappling horror using his Thompson. We will exhaust, well, we will take a thing off the wolf mask. It's not an offering off the wolf's mask to gives us +2 fight. So we are currently 2, 4, 6. And I will play a vicious blow. 7. 7 versus 3. That's correct, isn't it? I always like to count these things up. So 2 for here. 4 for here. 6 for here. 7. And we're currently doing +2 damage. 7 versus 3. -3, 7 versus 3, we pass. We do 3 damage to it. 1 naturally, +1 here, +1 here. So 3 damage. Grappling horror has gone. My second action is to move into the engine car because we have now discovered all clues on the location to the left. We'll flip it over. Engine car is connected to the location to the left of it. Forced. After you reveal engine car, draw the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. Comes in with 4 XP and 4 clues on it. But whilst we do that, I'm just going to a couple of things I've got to do. All about timing. The acolyte engages Carson. And we turn this over. If an investigator enters the engine car, immediately advance. The investigators entering the engine car reads the following out loud. A tender car filled with coal blocks, your way to the engine cap. Swallowing your fear, you climb out of the nearby window and clamber onto the roof of the train, making your way across the tender cart. The steady backward motion of the train makes it difficult for you to keep your footing. As you get close, a winged creature swoops down from above, its body composed of piping hot steam. You must decide, choose one. Test agility 3 or fight 3. We'll do fight 3. So it's test fight of 3. We're 2 naturally. I'll take an offering off the walls mask to take me to 4. I will play a custom modification and a one in the chamber. So 2 there. So 2, 4, 6 versus 3. 6 versus 3. Way my luck's going. Oh, 6 versus 3 is good. Six versus 3. -3. 6 versus 3, -3, we pass. We don't take any physical trauma. So, get your engine running. If there are no clues in the engine car, immediately advance. After you reveal the engine car, reveal the top 3, draw the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. So Carson's drawing these. So his first one is Claws of Steam, Test Wheel 3. If you fail, you cannot move. You take 2 damage. Wheel 3. Oh, God. Okay. 3 versus 3. Those have gone. Take 2 damage. Two versus 3. I'm going to go 2 versus 3. -3. So I fail. So I will play Live and Learn to make it 4 versus 3. Do it again. 4 versus 3. 4 versus 3. -1. 4 versus 3. I pass. That's the first one. Second one. Broken Rails. Each investigator at your location loses 1 action. So I was on my second action. So that's my third action. Each investigator at your location with 4 or more damage. No, I don't. And then the third one, Push to Beyond. Choose and shuffle a non-story asset you control into your deck. Well, that's going to be the Wolf Mask. Oops. If we draw a wolf mask, that's not going to be good. Top 3 cards. Runic Axe, take heart, take the initiative. And that's it. That is it. I've lost an action, so that is it for Carson. We go to the enemy phase. Acolyte's going to stay there. Emergent monstrosity is going to stay there. Acolyte's going to hit us for 1. So we're down to 2 health. Two and 2. That's it for the enemy phase. Upkeep phase, we're going to ready everything up. We're going to get our actions back. We're going to draw a card. Charlie's going to draw the scene of the crime. Carson's going to get take heart. Going to gain a resource. 9 resources for Carson. We go to the mythos phase. We place a doom on the agenda. And then we've hit the threshold. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've hit the threshold. We remove all doom. And then we flip this over. Two of the train cars closest to the gate are severed from the rest of the train by a sheet of impossibly hot steam, which slices through metal like a knife through butter. The cars are sucked upwards and fly into the gate. Something about the train lets out a terrible screech through to your ears. It is like the shrill of the sound of a broken steam pipe. Remove the two leftmost locations from the game, or place it in the victory display if either one of them has victory X or no clues on them. Investigators at these locations are defeated. Each enemy at the asset are discarded. Discard all clues. So they're going to go. That's going to go. Bear with me. We have to discard all clues. So Charlie's lost all of his clues. I just dug out the parlour car because that has a victory 1 on it. The others haven't got any victory on it. And then we go to agenda 4A. Drawn in. The gate crackles with power as its strength increases. Dirt and rocks from the edge of the bridge behind you are torn from the ground and trees are uprooted, pulled out in by the gate. One younger passenger smashes the window in your car and shouts, "We've got to get out of here." He leaps out the window, but before he lands into the river below, he's snatched in the talons of a swift flying creature and carried out of sight. A trail of steam is left in the creature's wake. 3 clues on it. Or 3 doom on it, sorry. Okay. We draw our mythos cards. Charlie is going to get Terror from Beyond. Choose one of the following card types: asset, event, or skill. Each player must each discard in his or her hand. So this is Charlie's. He's got an asset, and an event. So he'll choose skill. He doesn't discard any. Oh, made the wrong choice there. So two cards discarded. Doesn't say their location. So unfortunately, that happens. And then Carson is going to get helpless passenger. Helpless passenger to the left. Oh, immediately to your left. So helpless passenger is going to go in with Charlie. That's it. Well, I think we start off with Carson. I think we start off with Carson. First of all, first action, he's going to shoot the acolyte. I'm only 4 versus 3 though. Oh, that's annoying. I lost my vicious blow and take heart. 4 versus 3. Let's see. Let's see what we get. 4 versus 3. -4. That's a fail. Oh. I'm going to take a risk here. I'm going to have to take a risk. Second action, he's going to move. He's going to take an attack of opportunity from the acolyte. So I'm going to down to 1. He is then going to give, third action. He's going to fight with the Thompson. 4 versus 3. Carson will help to make it 5 versus 3. 5 versus 3. -2. We do it. Kills the acolyte. Carson is going to give Charlie, and then action, which is he's going to move to the engine car. That's it for Carson. First action for Charlie. He's going to investigate with the summoned hound with a base of 5. With a base of 5. 5 versus 1. Plus 1, we get a clue. Then I'm going to investigate with the Mariner's Compass, and I'm going to spend an additional resource to give me plus 1. So I'm currently 1, 2, 3 for Alice, 3 for Alice, 4 with the Mariner's Compass. 4 versus 1. 4 versus 1. -2. Add a doom token to the nearest cultist enemy. There's no cultist enemy. -2. We get it. And because we used the Mariner's Compass and we've got no resources, we get 2 clues. That's my second action. Third action, I'm going to investigate. I'm going to exhaust Alice Luxley, and I'm going to put in scene of the crime. So we're currently 1, 2 for Alice Luxley, 3, 4, 5. That's right. 1, 2 for the natural 1 from Alice, 2 because we've exhausted, 4, 5. 5 versus 1. -1, we get the clue. We get the clue. Get the engine running. Objective: if there are no clues on the engine car, immediately advance. The engine roars to life and kicks into motion. You shovel the coal into the engine's firebox and are relieved to see that the train is moving forward along the tracks once again. Read Resolution 1. Oh. Resolution 1. Resolution 1. You breathe a sigh of relief as the gate behind the train collapses harmlessly upon itself. The few passengers who survived the ordeal seem to be unable to comprehend what just happened. One passenger mentions a pipe bursting in the rear of the car, and that quickly becomes the explanation for the innocent and ignorant, those who either cannot or choose not to delve further into the mystery. You, on the other hand, know better, although in hindsight, you wish you didn't. Each investigator earns experience equal to Victory X value in the victory display. 1. 1. 1 XP is all we get from that. 1 XP. And we've done the Miskatonic University. We've done the Essex County Express. I think that's all we got. There's no other victory in there, I don't think. That's a poor scenario for victory points. Thought I'd have got a bit more than that. Nothing in here either. No, nothing in here. Anyway, well, we managed it. We did manage it. Yes. We actually managed to win a game, which is awesome. Right, so we are off to the Blood on the Altar next. That sounds delightful. I hope you're enjoying this scenario and this playthrough. The old codgers didn't do too bad there. We managed to run through as quickly as possible, ignoring that monstrous entity. I think was the right thing to do. And we managed to get there. Anyway, ta-ra for now and have a good one. Cheers. Bye-bye.